my mentor, who was watching me trade, said, hey, listen, I know what you're doing, and you're about to blow up your entire life, but this time you might be right if you could just hang in there. I'm like, okay, talk to me. And he explained to me the dash for trash. And he was a bulletin board penny stock trader back in the 70s and 80s, so he knew what he was talking about. And he said he's never seen stocks moving the way they were moving. The lowest possible scum, the worst of the worst, no business model. Companies didn't even exist anymore, and they were being bid up in the penny stocks and the bulletin boards. And he said, if they're moving these stocks now, there's nothing left good to buy. And the market should have an epic correction, if not a crash. Well, what do you know? And then it happened. He called it about a month and a half before it happened. And I, was down stupid amounts of money because I just didn't want to give up on my short. And I turned a really horrifying loss into the biggest gain of my life. And I lived off that money for almost 10 years. I got to hang out with my kids. I got married. I had my kids. I was a very charmed fellow. Still live kind of a charmed life. But I was able to raise my kids. My wife was doing some real estate. I was able to stay home, trade, do some fun videos on YouTube. Around 2007, I started doing that when YouTube started becoming a thing. I was always running chat rooms on AOL. That's how old I am, AOL. I built my own website. I don't have a hat, but my first website was Suck My NASDAQ, and now it's hitthebid.com. And through all those ups and downs, what I learned the hard way is that the market, it might sell off every once in a while, but it never stays down. And now the enormity of that is it's almost hard to believe that corrections and crashes, they last for, this last one, it lasted for what, 3 days? And the media made it seem like the president of the United States was going to derail the greatest market in the history of ever. And it did for 3 days. And then people realized, oh, wait, none of that matters. And then the market started to rally. And in that moment is where I used to make the biggest mistakes. I would say, this market's bounced enough. It's going to roll over. There's still a lot to be worried about. No, not anymore. Now I finally have embraced the horror that the market never goes down. And when people still think it's going down, as my mentor told me about the wall of worry. When we start going up, nobody's convinced it's going to last because they're still nervous about what just happened. But it already happened. There's nothing to be nervous about. And I was always that nervous Nelly waiting for the next leg or the next shoe to drop or the rug pull or whatever bullshit phrase you want to use as a shorter, right? Now I've realized, no. And maybe you met me, I think around May 12th, we started doing this. We had a power gap in the market. And I remember being a victim to the power gap. And I was like, shit, man, I should have covered that short. Now I've been power gapped. And all we do is grind higher. So since May 12th, if you've seen my chart, since May 12th, what happened that we were going to come into some resistance into the market. We were. I can't prove it, but trust me. We were going to come into some major resistance. And we gapped above it. Power gap. So, right, we tried to, remember those days? We were about to sell off, right? We were coming into resistance. We were going to sell off. There was the attempt to sell off, and then we gapped on that Monday above the resistance, and then we tested it. Power gap, tested it, and we haven't looked back since. The mistake I made in my past life was that I would think, this is a bunch of bullshit. We're going to roll over any day now. No. Now we tack on 100%. And from that moment, which was at 492, I started to factor in that the market could go up 100% from the power gap, and I still believe it. So what's the point of shorting? There is no point. But the only time you want to short something, it's for a day trade. And even during that moment, if you are shorting something, Think of it as an AA meeting. Go through the steps. Am I psychotic enough or delusional enough to think a stock could go down? Well, yeah, because there's a reason to believe. And I'll show you the one short we had today. It was CRCL. And the reason it was a short, because it met the criteria of the trade that never fails. So what is that trade? That trade is a stock that's gapped up on earnings that breaks this blue line. I know. It sounds too easy to be real, but it is real. And that's why, don't take my word for it. Come see it live. It's volume weighted average price and prior day volume weighted average price, otherwise known as, some people call it anchored VWAP. I call it multiple time frames, just multiple time frames of VWAP. And it gives you a inside look of what the stock wants to do. I remember when I was on the TV back in the day, and they ridiculed me for being a day trader that only cared about a stock for the next 45 minutes to a few hours. And that was irresponsible, as the analyst guy that they were having me debate with said. We're irresponsible, we don't care about the companies, and we're just gambling. And I said, and I wish I would have said this a little bit more aggressively, asshole, I got a better shot at predicting where the stock's going to be in the next hour and a half than you do where it's going to be in the next 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. And again, that's why I kind of hate bull markets, because asshole who said XYZ is going to go to this price was probably going to be right because the market went up. Not that he had an MBA or he was crunching numbers or he figured something out that somebody else didn't know. It went up because the market goes up. Like Kathy Wood being a champ again. When the market crashes, if it ever does go down, then she'll be a loser again. And the reason I really despise this industry, to the point where it's almost, I'm fuming right now, as a matter of fact. Hedge fund managers, right? They shouldn't call themselves hedge fund managers. They are select funds, and that's it. The only way anybody could try to beat the market is staying narrower or select, more select, and hope. And I remember this was what happened to a buddy of mine. He had a fund, called himself a hedge fund. You know what they owned? They owned 8 stocks. And those 8 stocks were kicking ass. And he was outperforming the market. But when one of those stocks announced that they were fake and it went to zero, so went his fund. And it took him down. Because he wasn't a hedge fund. He was a select fund, which most funds are. The idea of hedging what? What's the point of hedging a market that always goes up? Right, no point. Hedge funds are pointless. And why would you pay anybody 20% of your money to manage a market that only goes up, right? You buy the cues and you live happily ever after. No management fee. And if you really want to hedge, you can by selling calls and buying puts occasionally. And now you have the daily options. All right, enough of that. So you're looking at the CRCL and you're thinking, oh man, the stock's up 4%, it's up 6 points. Yeah, but you know what? It was up 36 points earlier. So what we do for a living, right, is we trade volume weighted average price and prior day VWAP, right? So what you're looking at this chart right now, the orange lines, the blue line is today's VWAP, the orange line is prior day VWAP. And what I've discovered from doing this trade exclusively for the last 12 years, no, 13 years now, is that this trade works. And now it works every time, which is unheard of. I'm assuming there's going to be a loss one day, but not today. Not over the last 3 years. So maybe you're not catching on what I'm saying if you are watching this video. If you're losing money in this market, obviously you're doing something wrong because it never goes down. You must be shorting, right? I've never blown up an account buying stocks. I've blown up 3 accounts shorting stocks. Shorting doesn't work. So I've got a trade here, right, that's been working unbelievably in any market, bull market, bear market, sideways market, boring market. And it transcends all markets. So if you're losing money, first of all, you're probably shorting. Stop doing that. Or do it when you actually have an advantage. Or don't do it at all. And if you're losing money in this market, contact me. I will save you from yourself. And I will beg, I will implore, is that the word? I will insist that you just take this trade. Because if something works every time, you should come out ahead. Right? Nothing could work every time. Nope. Every time. Every freaking time. So you came in today, and first of all, let me explain how it all got started. So this is CRCL. You guys know about it? Who cares? What do they do? Doesn't matter. I think they do something with the Bitcoins. Who gives a shit? Nobody. Right? Doesn't matter. It's just a stock. Nothing different between CRCL and GEVO that makes fake fuel that nobody wants up in the corner, GEVO. We'll get to that in a second. The stock reports earnings, rips. And then it tests VWAP from on top. You don't want to short it. That's telling you that the buyers are still in control. Rips. And then it goes back to those highs. Man, you really wish you would have bought off that VWAP, didn't you? Right, you should have. That was a 6-point trade. But then look, it comes back to test the blue line like it's magic, because it is. And it holds, so you buy it again. No shorting yet, because it's above today's VWAP. And then it goes back to the high today, and you make money. And then it dips, and then it rips, and then it goes to 180. You know how significant 180 is in the price? 180, the price itself in the world of trading? If you don't know, now you know. 180 is a big, big, big algorithmic price. If you didn't know it, now you know. So it gets to 180, and look what it does. It hits 180. It hits 180, right? It hits 180. Look at all these prices. Something about this 180 is pretty damn significant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 17, 19 times. But does it break down? No. It's just consolidating. So what do? You buy it when it breaks 180. And what's nice about this is the newbie trader says, oh, wait a minute, I don't want to buy it here at 180. It's rallied all the way from 162 already. What's that mean? Just like the market, right? People don't want to buy into the market now because it's rallied so much. Does that mean it's not going to keep going up? No. It means it's going to keep going up. Just because you're late to the party doesn't mean you're wrong, right? I'd rather be late and right than early and wrong. So here, what this chart's telling you is that, man, people are loving this trade. So we bought it. 180 break. And it ripped. 182.50, 185, which are also big fat algorithmic numbers, 2.5 points on your 180 stock. And then one of my rules, I don't like owning stocks into the open because you never know what's going to happen. Q's new highs, by the way, core weave new highs. We're still along the Q's and the core weave. Thank you very much. So now I'm out. 185, right? I don't want to hold near the open. Why don't I want to hold stocks near the open? Because that's where the other side of the trade comes in. The people that run this market, not me with my measly 200 shares, institutional people who are going to make this stock move, that may or may not want to take profit on this 25-point move. I'm taking profit, wouldn't you? Of course. So what we wait for now is the counter trend move. We wait for the profit takers, right, to show up. You follow? Kenny, how do I know when the profit taking is showing? They're showing up? Blue line break. That's the institutional money line. If it goes below that money line, oh, Kenny, I don't want to short a stock that just fell from 186 to 181. I already missed 5 points. Did you? You thought the same thing when you didn't want to buy it at 175 and it went to 190. You didn't miss shit. Put the trade on. Q's new highs, by the way. We're still long the Q's, right? All the way to 1,040 today. So if you're going to short stocks, do it on a gapped up stock that already ripped. That's breaking VWAP. And look how it tested from underneath, confirming your fucking delusion that you could actually make money shorting something. Holy shit, I can't believe it's working. Neither did I. Because even when I'm in a short, I got to go through the steps. I can't believe it's working. I can't believe I'm psychotic enough to think that it was going to work, but I had to short it because it broke VWAP. So then my next process is, oh my God, I can't believe it's working. Let me get the hell out of some immediately for some profit. And then I look at prior day VWAP. And I clean up my chart for you to show you this is what I call when I say the market's rigged. Because stocks will travel from today's VWAP, and when you get momentum in that direction and there's a prior day VWAP nearby, stocks will go to the prior day VWAP. So you have your reason to short, you delusional fucktard thinking that the market could actually pull back, but now you got a reason to believe, breaks that line, right? And if you're wrong, and I'll be doing this on August 16th, I'll be doing all of what we're doing here on a Saturday with my people on my website. If you're interested, for $250, I'll change the way you look at this market for the rest of your life. And you'll never, ever see it the wrong way ever again. It is rigged. I prove it every day. So if I was wrong, I would have had to get out at the high of that candle, and obviously that would have been pretty awful. So 181, I'm risking basically 5 points on the trade, but I look at that orange line way down there at 170. So I'm shorting here at 181, thinking I'm going to make 11 points, so I'm willing to risk 4 or 5. Risk reward still in your favor. And lo and behold, this fucker went right to the orange line, and then it started to bounce, and then we get the hell out of the trade. Because winning, blue line, orange line, is winning. And that's an 11-point trade. Now, let's talk about what happened afterwards. So now you got what we call the fake out, shakeout, back above the prior day VWAP. So considering we had a long trade that worked pre-market, a short that I can't believe actually worked because the market never fucking goes down, ever. Nothing goes down. But it did. We took our profit. But then it faux showed, right? Fake out, shake out, and back above the prior day VWAP. You know what I'm doing there? I'm buying it. Woohoo! Yeah. Buying it right there using the 168 and the 166.75 as my out. Because my idea is that now that it broke back over the prior day VWAP, broke back over the prior day, it'll gravitate back to the today's VWAP. And our entry price was 170.95. Sold some at 172.50 because that's what I do, because I trade stocks around big fat prices. And then at 175, I'm thinking, here we go. I'm about to start selling at 175. I don't sell. Oh no. And then it rolls over, breaks back over 172.50, and I sold it. So close. Didn't get paid on the other lot. Wound up selling it at 172.50, but it's a profitable trade. And look what happened next. I wish I could tell you I was savvy enough to get short again, but I'm not psychotic to get short a stock again. So let's talk about the other ones that work. So BBAI, you guys know about it? Yeah, you do. Everybody loved this stock 2 weeks ago. Now they're getting hammered on earnings. So here's 2 days worth of trades, right? So I want to show you yesterday. Look at this grossness. stock plummets from 750 to 5, and nobody wanted any part of this thing last night at 5. And they even broke 5. So that low, we factored that in today. But today you walked in and you said, ooh, where's BBAI? I can't wait to buy it. Why? Because you know something about BBAI? You in cahoots with what they do in their business model? You know the EBITDA of BBI? Nobody gives a fuck about that shit. You're buying it because it's a gap down stock on earnings and it's breaking the blue line. That's why you're buying it with limited risk at 488, knowing that it plummeted down to 478 this morning and yesterday. And that's your risk. And then the stock rips and you get paid. Nobody gives a shit about what these companies do. Nobody cares about tariffs. And if you came in this morning thinking the CPI data was going to change the nature of this market, are you out of your fucking minds? Nobody gives a shit about economic data in a bull market. Don't you get it yet? So here you got a stock that looked like was going out of business today, and all we did was come in and say, when do we buy it? Loaded the boat on this bitch at 485, banging it out at 5.25, and look where it went. Bang! Right to that half number, and then we sold it on the way down. And then we sold the rest at 5.25. But then look what it did. You see that right there? That's the market trying to get people out. Fake out, shake out, you're back above the VWAP. Oh, no! Buy it! So we're back in at 507, and look what happened. By the way, that's a fake candle. That never happened. I was in the stock at the time. And look where you've got back to on BBAI. There's your 550. Sell it now. Cash. I know you guys are in this one because that was trade 1,052 in a row. But wait, there's more. USAR. Get your goddamn USA hats out now, right? And by the way, if you're not in the GIVO right now, I'm going to smash your fucking head in. How about that? Why are you so aggressive, Kenny? Because people need to be talked to this way. You want to trade? You want to live? You want to survive in this industry? You need me in your life. Like a drill sergeant standing behind you asking, what the fuck is wrong with you? You want to make money or you want to joke around? So I got a trade that works every time. Every time. You get it? Hey, what's USAR? I don't know, but Kenny's been interested in this stock for the last couple of days. Why? Because its name is USAR. They're in the space you want to be. You guys know about MP? You should. You know about MP? Rare earths. We're trying to compete with China. MP and USAR is all we got. And the symbol has a USA in it in a market that never goes down, which was the only premise we needed 6 weeks ago when we bought the stock. But today, you got a stock that you've already loved, that's coming out of the doldrums, that we're already in, reporting earnings, and sets up the trade that never fails. And you're sitting here looking at me? Let's go through the checklist. Did they report earnings? Yes. Was it gap down? It was. Is it breaking VWAP? It is. Buy it. Is it breaking prior day VWAP? Holy shit, it is. Buy it. Then, is it breaking the highs of the pre-market? Oh my God, it is. Is it breaking yesterday's aftermarket? Oh my God, it is. Still buy it. Because this market is awesome. Ripping and ripping. And if you guys don't know about this from last week, let me tell you one more time. You are on the verge of a stock that is on an epic comeback in a space you want to be in, and it's going to break all-time highs. And if you haven't noticed, when stocks break all-time highs, what do? They don't say they go up, because that's just part of the equation. No. When stocks break all-time highs, they go up 10 fucking X. Woo! Woo! Are you saying the stock's going to 200? I certainly am. Because there's no reason to believe it's not. Because every goddamn stock that's broken all-time highs this year, especially your opens from 22 cents, 50 cents got to $5. You guys remember, how about Bull, right? When it broke all-time highs that day, the second day, what did it do? It went from $9 to $80, right? CoreWeave, what did CoreWeave do after the IPO broke highs? It went from 31 to 185. You tell me stock's going to break 20 and go up $1? So that's irrelevant. Sorry I had that part of the conversation with you. I don't want to get completely psychotically, rational, exuberantly with you now. But the point is, when you get into one of these trades that never fails, then you can hang on and start getting irrationally exuberant. No, sorry, psychotically exuberant. Because when you're in the trade, like a CoreWeave that we're all long right now, because it did the 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal, the trade that never fails, you delusional fucktard, right? When you have a trade that never fails, take it. And then you can be delusional about it. Hey, I'm in the stock from 137. I sold some at 140. I'll sell some here at 142.50. Now you got to think the stock's going to 300. And you hold on to the last lots. That's what we call the I don't give a shit lot. Because you're in at such a good price that you can let it ride. Who cares? Full market, baby. Anybody here think the Qs aren't going to 1,000 in the next 3 years? What? Why? Oh, what about China? Oh, what about Taiwan? Right? Oh, what is this? Year 13. We still talking about the China invading Taiwan? That's how going to derail the market? Well, what are we talking about tariffs again? Like that matters. Q's new highs. So you want to fuck around or you want to make money? That's the question you should be asking yourself. I make people money, and now I make people stupid, ridiculous money. Because this trade hasn't failed in 3 freaking years. And then you take some of that money and you parlay it into some options, and now you're kicking ass on a daily basis without any overnight risk. Again, there's no reason to sell the Qs, and we're planning to hold them all the way till 2028. I'll give you the date, April 20th, 2028. At 1:43 p.m., the Qs will be at 1,038.75 to the penny. How do I know that? I don't. But I did some math, and I was right about Dow 20,000 3.5 years before it happened. I'm going to be right about the Qs going to 1,038.75. Because I don't know if you have heard yet, the market doesn't go down. And remember when we had this conversation last month? Remember we had this conversation 2 months ago, and somebody said, wow, this guy's getting really irrationally bullish. That's usually a sign the market's going to go down. How'd that work out since the power gap on May 12th? How's any shorting working out? It ain't. So yesterday, as we had this conversation, like last Friday, 2 Fridays ago when we had a sell-off, and by the way, those are new generational lows, right? Every time we sell off, right? Every time we sell off, sorry, that's not the chart I'm looking at. These are not the droids I'm looking for. Every time we sell off, that low becomes new generational lows, which you will never see ever again in your fucking lifetime. Oh, man, you're getting kind of aggressive right now, Kenny. I know. Because this is how you got to be. You got to believe every stock's going 10x, 20x, 50x, 1000x. Get your irrational exuberant hat on if you don't have one yet. I'll send it to you for $499. You pay shipping and handling. I'll send you your irrational exuberance hat. Or maybe you need a straight jacket, like I do. Because every time I'm about to short the stocks, I want to fucking cut a finger off. So listen, if you ain't making money in this market that goes up every damn day, where these VWAP trades are working, call me. Call me right now, even though I don't have a phone. Call me right now, operator standing by. Or email me, kennyglick@AOL.com. Do it right this second. Say, I need more of you in my life. Or to the one guy that said, what did he say? He called me not irresponsible. I've been called that. Off-putting, been called that. What was the word he used? Something or other. Reprehensible. That's a good one too. I've been called that. But what was the other one? What was the other word that a guy used? He hurt my feelings that day. What was it? Intolerable. Yeah. Been called that plenty of times, mostly by women. Intolerable. Right? But I'm right about everything. So suck it. Right? Eat me, is what I told the guy. When I'm wrong, let me know. CoreWeave, new highs. Q's new highs. How you doing? When I'm wrong, let me know. I've been right about everything. Everything I've said on this show in particular for the last, what? However we're doing this, I don't know how long we're doing it now, 6 weeks, 3 months, whatever. Everything I've said has come to fruition. So, in other words, suck it. Because if you're not coming into play, right, if you're going into battle, which what trading is, if you're not coming in for a fight, you're going to get punched and knocked the fuck out. You come in pissed. You come in with purpose. You come in looking to rip their fucking heads off every day. The people that don't know what they're doing. Who do you think we're taking the money from? Those victims, like I used to be. Don't be a victim to the sickest market ever. Don't be a victim. Join my website. We'll teach you how to be winners. We'll teach you how to victimize other people. We won't be manipulated. We'll be manipulators because we get it. So you want to see a short that's working? I'll show you a short that's working. You want a toe? I'll get you a fucking toe with nail polish. ASTS. Where's my ASTS short sellers, you psychotic bitches? Let's go. Right? Blue freaking line to orange line. I heard this trade works out a lot. How about every time? Who's still long BBAI? This guy. BBAI, new highs. I don't even got to look at it. I know where it's going. But if you're going to short stocks in a market that never goes down, you better do this trade, you psychotic lunatic. Or don't. Because stocks like FTNT, you guys saw that one the other day? They reported earnings. Ooh, the earnings were bad. Were they? That was 4 days ago. Nobody gives a shit about the earnings anymore. Stock go up. VWAP, 1 minute multi-day VWAP break. You got paid. Look at that. Faux show, bro. VWAP break. Back into the uptrend. Why do you think we're in BBAI right now? Where do I think it's going? Where do I think it's going? Where do I know it's going is the question. By the way, just sold some at 566. Why? Why? I'll show you why. Because these levels were where we were trading it yesterday. And when stocks get to where they were once before, you do things if something happened at that price. Did you just hear what I said? Did you hear what I just said? So now we sell some. Because now we've got most of this trade. This is exactly what I wanted. So now, even though I still think we're going 585, here's how you stay in the business for 30 years. Watch this. Sold. But Kenny, I thought you said it was going to 585. It probably is. It probably is, Blanche. But now I could put a stop right under the 545. I know I've made money on 70% of this trade already. Can't take the money from me. And now I'll hold on to the last 30%, hoping it goes to 585, and then hopefully even get more out of it, because if it breaks 585, it's going to 612. But now I don't have to care about it because we just sold 70% of the stock. Yeah! Another winner. Chalk it up. ASTS, people, right? Where do you think it's going? You got through today's VWAP, right? Watch. You see how the program works? Because the market's rigged. Blue line, orange line holds it, but then it chops around, breaks it, and then usually, and that's how we trade what usually happens. We gravitate to the next prior day VWAP, and that's where it looks like it's headed, which where you'll be putting a bid in at 49.86 to cover some, because you're not delusional and you're making money on a short. It's not going to last. Shorting is short-lived and you're going to die. Don't forget rule number 1, but right now you can milk it and hopefully it gets there. Now, I got 17 minutes left. I know what I'm doing. If anybody was out there listening or paying attention to the show, this is where I would do some live commentary. Anybody have a trade that you'd like me to look at, right? I'll show you how to VWAP the shit out of it, and you will be set for life. And then join the website, and next thing you know, it's 30 years later, and I'm going to go get some Propecia or some hair growing product, and maybe I'll just change my look. I don't know. I'm getting bored with life. My face, actually, I meant to say. I'm bored with my face. Maybe get a mustache or something. I grew a beard the other day. It takes me like 6 weeks to grow something on my face. What the hell am I even talking about right now? Just give me some stocks to look at, moron. And if USAR breaks 20 bucks today, I don't know what to tell you. Don't sell it. Come on, give me some stocks. Come on. There you go, SOFI. I love it. My dad's in it. You're never going to lose money. He never loses money, my father. SOFI, he's in from 12. What is it, $24 right now? Faux show, bro. VWAP break. Test from on top. Beautiful. You stop right there. If I was long this trade, I would have sold some at 23.50, and 23.50 is the only place I would sell most of it on the way back down. But you see the pivot points? They're your pivot points. So if you're in the trade, I'd sell the rest maybe at 23.50 because you got a beautiful trade. I still think it's going higher over looking at this yearly chart. Nothing not to like there. There's my father buying it right there at $12. He's kicking ass. He's not selling it, so you don't have to worry about that. Pony, there you go. That was my last trade. Now we're talking. Somebody's paying attention. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What was the trade that we walked in on? This guy's paying attention. Fanny for the win. Just sold some, right? Because we got a trade that never fails. 1 minute to the multi-day where we sold some while we were on the show. I already have all my orders out. I know what I'm doing. Now, that pivot point is the only place I'm selling the rest, because now you're in this nasty candle. So I'll take a look at data. Let's take a look at 2 days worth of data. We're up there. Let's look at 3 days. Bang, we just hit the 3 day. How about 4 days? We're almost there. How about 5 days? Because usually 5 days is what I look at mostly, 5 days. We're at the 5 day. You know what? That might be all we should get. That might be all we get out of this trade. But I don't sell all of my position ever at one price. So now that I've sold some on the way up, and I've sold some at $13.85, sold some at $14, now I raise my stop to basically where it broke out from, let's call it $14.04. Q's new highs, by the way. Never go down. We never go down. All right, now we're talking Rocket. Yes. I love Rocket. You know why? Not because of mortgages, not because of anything else. It's a garbage stock that's coming back, right? And when garbage stocks come back, those are the best trades. Look at this piece of shit. just plummeting, plummeting, plummeting. Finally, got over, this is what we call it, this is a yearly VWAP, and you broke out the other day. You tested that little area. Love it. Love it. You got to be thinking 20 bucks on this bad boy. You have to be thinking 20 bucks. Love it. Love it. The worst, by the way, the worse the stock you could possibly find right now in this market, the better off you are. Stocks like Hertz, you know what I'm talking about. Open, garbage like that. I love it. Love it all. Q's new highs. BBAI, we're already in. We sold most of it, but we're looking for more. Oh, wait. Hang on. Might have just got stopped out. 550. 550 sold. Oh, what'd you do to my trade here? I'm out. I'm out right here, actually. You bastard. All right. Not a bad trade. Just sold it at 550. But now, again, if it pulls back, let's say, by the way, when I sell out of a stock, generally it starts to go back up, but I just sold the rest. See, again, that's not a bad trade. You know, I sold at 525, 550, 575. Well, I didn't get the 575. Oh, I didn't get the 575. Oh, I thought we did. Oh, okay. All right, I'm out. But Pony, same scenario, right? Making money. And this, I love the fact that you're talking about the stock because you're on the right name. They reported earnings. The stock got hammered. Faux show, bro. VWAP break. Blue line, orange line. Most of the trade's done. And now we're just waiting to see if we can get some more out of it. Awesome. Awesome. VFF. You talking about weed stocks? Wasn't the stock 50 cents yesterday? Wow. Wait a second. Oh, no. Normally, the pothead amongst us would like weed stocks. I haven't liked weed stocks since the first realm. I'm talking about Medbox, the original penny stocks of weed. Weed stocks have been awful. That's the only sector that I avoid right now other than Chinese stocks. Awful. And because the president mentioned them, now I hate them even more. Because just like we're not colonizing Greenland and we're not making Canada the 51st state, we're never changing the laws on marijuana. And here's my idea. Even if we did, nothing would change with me. If the person that, so the idea is, whoa, if they legalize weed, suddenly everybody's going to be a pothead? Nope. The same people who don't smoke now will not smoke. And the same people that get weed, however they get it, will get it from wherever they get it. Nothing would change, even if it became decriminalized across all 50 states and we could finally use credit cards to pay for the weed at the dispensary. Nothing will change. All of these stocks are going to zero. Every single one of them. They're completely worthless. I have people in the industry, they're hemorrhaging cash. Worst industry ever. Garbage. Nothing worse than weed stocks except for Chinese stocks. That's just my opinion, of course. But, and they're so crappy that I don't even play them. And I love awful trades and awful stocks. NVT, whatever this is, you're the best. Great trade. Look at that. Faux show, bro. VWAP break. You're in. And now, if you're still in it, 91's your stop. Perfect. And if anybody's in GIVO, we got to 199. I don't know if you're still in it, but here, GIVO, right? Faux show, bro. VWAP break on an earnings report. Just got to that level. I'm thinking 220 because it got there earlier this morning. But now I put a stop on it from where it broke out from, which is 185. I'll let it breathe 15 cents. We'll see what happens. Come on, I'll get you. NVT, there you go. Give me some more. No, I didn't even see this. I'm on the wrong window. I was looking at the wrong window. But let me tell you something. If you think I'm joking around, maybe now you realize I'm not joking around. Oh, leg cramp. Been sitting around too long. So if you think I'm joking around, right? First of all, maybe you thought I was joking around when I told you got to buy the Qs on May 12th. We're going to go to at least 600.06 this year. Anybody thinking we're not going 606 by Christmas? We'll be there by Friday. What about seasonality? What about it? How did selling in May and going away work out? You just missed the greatest rally in the history of trading. And that's a real thing. I know because I'm flamboyant and rambunctious and, sometimes in your face or sometimes, that maybe you don't take what I'm saying seriously. Take it serious, right? Has anybody not noticed this market's not going down? And every pullback is met with a tenfold rip in your face like last Friday? Remember 2 Fridays ago when we sold off? I think it was July 31st. What have we done since? Every freaking day. And then we had a blow off top yesterday. And we joked. We laughed. We cried. We said, hey, you know what? That action in the market yesterday would normally mean we're going to go down tomorrow. Doesn't work anymore. And I mean it. What we witnessed yesterday in the market was a blow off top at all-time highs. And we closed, again, we didn't close on lows because we never do. But usually a blow off top at all-time highs will then begin a short-term sell-off, but usually lasts for more than a day. Not in this market, because this market never goes down. So now you had to that's why today is so super special, because you had to realize that yesterday set the trap for people that think rational thought still works. It doesn't. So then when the market started to sell off and they trapped them again, and then we faux show broed all the people that were delusional enough to think that yesterday meant something, they got trapped short again. The longs got out, and then everybody wants back in. Yes, ACHR. I love it. ACHR. All day, baby. All day. Faux show, bro. VWAP break early this morning. Multi-day VWAP break and hold at the open. Nothing not to like about it. If you're putting tight stops, 787, and obviously the VWAP would be your second stop. FTAI, it has an AI in it, I'm interested. What is it? FTAI. Never heard of it, but there's an AI in the symbol. Probably good. You got a faux show, bro, 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal on it. Fantastic. It's awesome. Wait a minute. Lemonade, that cool, refreshing drink. Faux show, bro, VWAP break for the win. All these trades are showing me I've done the same thing. You see what I'm saying? He breaks down and gets over prior day VWAP back above the 1 minute. You're a buyer. They're just awesome. Awesome. Every trade. Here's another one for you. By the way, Q's new highs. Real, right? You know what these guys do? Well, I know what they say they do, right? They take my wife's handbags that she collects, and if I could ever get her to sell one of them, I would put it on this website and sell it. That's what they say they do. I'm sure they don't do any of that. It's probably some Chinese company that has a picture of a handbag on a website. But that doesn't matter, right? Because it reported earnings the other day, and the market never stays down, even on garbage like this. Look at this. VWAP break. I guess it was like a 1 minute multi-day VWAP collision. Anyway, what am I even saying? Doesn't even matter. Keep giving me numbers. Anybody, and by the way, anybody in my slow moving winners, SRAD, don't sell it. It's where you want to be. SRAD, if you don't own it, buy it. Data analytics, data collection for sports gambling websites. Every kid under 20 is degenerate gambler right now. This powers most of their websites. SRAD for the win. Restoration Hardware, get the fuck out of here. Wow. The stock's at $230. Last time I saw this stock was at $40. Wow. Well, there it is. I mean, every trade you're showing me today, faux show, bro, VWAP break for the win. Love the bull. Love the freaking bull. Every pullback's a buy on this stock, and hopefully it finally breaks out. Let me show you the bull. This is a special one to me because I think you got a lot more to go. This is what we call the Andy Dufresne, and you're still struggling to really get out of the muck. And when it does, it's gone. And hopefully at least the $21. Palantir, no brainer. Never sell Palantir unless it's under 160. Enough said. It got to 180. We've been in this since the IPO, right? Love it. Everybody loves Palantir. Are they a software company? No. Are they an AI company? No. They don't do any of that. Know what they do? They hunt terrorists and kill them. That's why I bought the stock. I known about Palantir before they went public. They're a CIA clandestine company. Inevitably, the company's getting taken private at $1,000 a share by the United States government. Don't sell it. When the market corrects and goes under 160, maybe you want to get scared out of it. I wouldn't. I think the stock goes to 250, 500, and then easily $1,000. And as long as they keep calling it overvalued, it'll keep going up because that's how the market works. But ASTS, my friends, the only short of the day, right? The only short that's on right now. Oh my God, what did it just do? Because the market's rigged to price. Did it finally get to the 2-day? Did it get there to the exact price? To the exact price? Did it? Or am I hallucinating? You understand? The market's rigged. Theo knows what I'm talking about. Let me into your lives for 2 weeks, friends. And I will show you that the market is absolutely 100% rigged. And it's fantastic. Don't be my uncle who thinks it's rigged against you because he buys a stock and it goes down the next day after he buys it. It's rigged and it's fantastic. It's wonderful because if you understand and accept the fact that it is rigged and you have the rigging, you probably should make some money. And the Yankees suck. Well, they won yesterday. Yeah, they beat the Twins. Great. So ASTS, everybody. Now, if you are still short, please, for the love of God, get the hell out of 80 to 90% of this trade. So now look at 3 days worth of VWAP, right? 49.50 should be next. And then 5 days worth of VWAP. Nah, that's it. You've won this trade. Most of it should be over. Congratulations. Now look at the pre-market levels. You're at the pre-market level. And then here is aftermarket. Aftermarket, it got smoked. So there is still a chance that this thing flirts back down to that 48 change, that 48.90 area. But when you have a winning trade, you cash out, right? And I'm not joking about Palantir. Love it, especially because everybody keeps saying it's overvalued. All right, we got 0 time left together. But if you want to spend more time with me, and I know you do, right? I know you do, because I am the best that may have ever been. And that's not about me. It's not about me. Because I sold my USAR today for a $230 profit, and I left $5,000 on the table on that trade. I stink, but I'm great at helping other people. And that is my position in life after doing this for 30 years. And I've accepted that that is my position in life. And that's why I'm so goddamn passionate. And that's why I'm so kind of on tilt. Because I'm angry for you, for the guy out there that's suffering, the guy out there that still thinks shorting is a viable way to trade the market. Don't short the market. Obviously, I've shown you can short stocks and survive, like the ASTS and the core. I get it. Just don't short the Qs until I give you permission, blatant permission, like come to your house and press the button for you. This is it. I've worked my whole life for this moment. I've worked my whole life for this moment. And what I do best now is helping other people. Because, man, oh, man, I really do have a knack for selling out of stocks and watching them go up 20% after I sell out of it. All right. On that note, market never goes down. Woo! I'm thinking 606 probably by Friday. But really, I'll see you in 2028. Come to the website. And if you haven't emailed me, my email name is kennyglick@aol.com. Thursday night, parties at my house, grain alcohol, fire dancing, midget kiss, and nitrous oxide tanks. Thursday night. Email me. You're all invited. KennyGlick@AOL.com. Yeah, AOL. KennyGlick@AOL.com. Thursday night, party my house. Nitrous, fire dancing, grain alcohol, midget kiss will be there. I'll see you guys.